The air was thick, humming with anticipation. I felt his gaze, steady, intense. Daniel had been patient, waiting, holding back, but not anymore. I turned, meeting his eyes. He wasn't just watching now. I lifted my fingers, just a quiet invitation. His breath caught, his body tensed, and then he got up. Before we jump in, please do me a quick favor. Like this video and hit subscribe. It's free, takes only a second, and helps more than you think. Plus, you'll never miss the next story. Now, let's get started. His hands rested against my waist, holding me close as our bodies moved together. Every deep breath, every subtle movement, kept my skin warm with lingering energy. "Don't stop," I murmured, my voice barely above a breath. The tension between us built, lingering, until my body relaxed completely against his. He let out a slow breath, pulling me close as we settled into the quiet comfort of the moment. For a while, we just lay there, the warmth between us lingering. His fingers traced slow circles along my back, his chest rising and falling in steady waves against the backdrop of the city lights glittering through the rain-streaked windows. But something about the silence felt different. I turned my head slightly, watching him. "You're quiet." He let out a soft chuckle. "Just thinking." I smirked, letting my fingertips graze his skin. His hesitation was barely noticeable, but I caught it. How good that was. I laughed softly, curling against him. "Yeah, it was." My fingers traced idle patterns over his skin. "But have you ever thought about making it even better?" His breath hitched slightly. "Better?" I propped myself up on one elbow, watching him carefully. "We've always been adventurous. But what if we took it a step further?" His body tensed just for a second. It was subtle, but I noticed. That only made me more curious. "Come on," I coaxed, tilting my head. "I know you thought about it." His gaze met mine, something flickering behind his eyes. A pause. Then, after a long exhale, he spoke. "There is something," he admitted, voice low. I arched a brow, anticipation curling in my stomach. "Tell me." He ran a hand through his hair. "I want to see you experience something different." I blinked. "Different." His lips parted as if choosing his words carefully. Then, finally, "Yes, but not another man. A woman." The words settled between us, thick in the air of our penthouse. I swallowed, my pulse quickening. I wasn't sure if the heat rising in my chest was nerves or something far more dangerous. I opened my mouth, but no words came, because I wasn't sure how I felt about it. I couldn't shake the thought. It clung to me, slipping into my mind when I least expected it. Lying in bed watching the distant city glow, moving through my morning routine in the sleek kitchen, even when I tried to focus on something else. Daniel's words had sparked something I couldn't ignore. At first, it felt absurd. I had never considered something like this. The idea of being with another woman, especially with him watching, should have been easy to dismiss. But it wasn't. The more I thought about it, the less strange it seemed. Curiosity crept in, quiet but persistent. It wasn't just the idea itself that lingered. It was the way he would look at me, the way it might change things between us. Would it? That question lingered more than I wanted to admit. Doubts pressed against the edges of my excitement. What if I went through with it and liked it too much? What if it made him see me differently? What if it made me see myself differently? It felt like stepping into something unknown, something I couldn't fully predict. And yet, beneath the uncertainty, something else stirred. A quiet thrill, the kind that lingered each time I thought about it, He had wanted this. That much was clear. And if I was honest with myself, I wanted to know what it would feel like to give him what he wanted. The hesitation was still there, but it wasn't enough to stop me. I was going to do it. I didn't know how, and I didn't know who, but I knew one thing. This wasn't just his fantasy anymore. Now it was mine too. The following days passed in a blur. I told myself not to overthink it. I had made my decision. But once I did, the anticipation only grew. Every glance at him across the minimalist living room, every casual touch as we passed in the hallway, made the excitement more real. I wasn't just agreeing to his fantasy. I was taking control of it. By the time I had everything arranged, the nerves were gone, replaced with something even more thrilling. Exhilaration. The right person. The right time. The perfect way to reveal it. And now, all that was left was watching his reaction. That morning, as we lay in bed high above the waking city, I rolled over to face him, my fingers tracing light patterns over his skin. He was still half asleep, his breathing slow and steady, unaware of the storm brewing inside me. I leaned in, my voice soft but firm. I need you to be home by 8 tonight. No questions. Just trust me. His eyes flickered open, a lazy smile tugging at his lips. What's happening at 8? I met his gaze, holding it just long enough to let curiosity sink in. You'll see. His brows lifted slightly, but I could see the intrigue take hold. He wanted to ask more, but he knew me well enough to recognize when I wasn't going to give in. All right, he finally said, stretching as he exhaled. I'll be here. Good, because by tonight, his fantasy would no longer be just a fantasy. Evening came quicker than I expected. Rain lashed against the panoramic windows. I met him at the penthouse door, my pulse steady. But just beneath the surface, something buzzed. Inside me, anticipation, nerves, something I couldn't quite name. He didn't know what was waiting for him in the dimly lit lounge, and that made it all the more exhilarating. His brow lifted slightly as I took his hand, offering nothing more than a knowing smile. Come with me, I murmured, leading him down the hall towards the master suite. The door was already slightly ajar, the dim, warm light spilling into the hallway. The moment we stepped inside, I felt the shift, the charged air, the weight of expectation. And then he saw her. Sophia was already waiting, poised on the edge of the bed, her posture effortless, the kind of confidence that made it clear she belonged there in the luxurious setting. Her gaze flickered over him briefly before settling on me, something unreadable flashing behind her eyes. I heard the slow inhale Daniel took, saw the way his body tensed ever so slightly. He wasn't just watching. He was absorbing every detail, processing what this meant, what was about to happen. And then she moved. Her fingers brushed against my wrist first, just a light touch, barely there, then higher, tracing up my arm, deliberate and teasing. I turned toward her instinctively, drawn in, my breath catching as her palm smoothed over my skin. There was something different about this, new, unfamiliar, but intoxicating. The first kiss was soft, slow, exploratory, a tentative meeting of lips testing before deepening into something more. My body responded before my mind could catch up, leaning into her touch, my hands finding their way to her waist, feeling the warmth of her beneath my fingertips. A quiet exhale came from behind me, low and controlled, but unmistakable. I didn't have to turn to know he was watching, that he was feeling every second of this as much as I was. We took our time, savoring the slow unraveling. Her hands moved, with purpose, slipping beneath fabric, guiding me inch by inch into something deeper. Every brush of skin sent another ripple of warmth through me, the slow build of discovery making me shudder. And then she took the lead. Her lips left mine, tracing a slow, deliberate path. Savoring every touch, I barely registered the sensation of my shirt slipping away, of fingers ghosting over newly exposed skin. Every movement was controlled, effortless, as if she was attuned to every response I gave. I felt her mouth at my collarbone first, then lower, tracing along the curve of my torso with deliberate care. My breath faltered as she explored with unhurried precision, the sensation sending shivers through me. A light, lingering touch at my hips sent a shiver through me, my body reacting instinctively. There was no rush, only the careful unraveling of anticipation, a slow building heat that had me holding my breath. And then her touch grew more intentional. A rush of warmth spread through me, making my breath catch. My breathing grew uneven, every motion drawing me further under, lost in the sensations around me. Her rhythm never faltered, a steady pace that built upon itself, each deliberate motion keeping me suspended in the moment. A sound from across the room, low, strained, broke through the haze. I turned my head slightly, my vision blurring. At the edges, Daniel. He was still in the armchair near the window, but barely. His hands gripped the arms tightly, his chest rising and falling with measured restraint. His gaze was locked onto me, his expression unreadable, but everything about him, his posture, his tension, spoke volumes. He was barely holding himself together. The air felt thick, weighted with unspoken understanding. He wasn't just watching anymore. He was caught in this just as much as I was. I met his gaze, my fingers reaching toward him, the movement small but deliberate. It was nothing more than an invitation, a quiet acknowledgement that his presence mattered just as much as everything else in this moment. His hands loosened, his body tensed, and then, finally, he got up. The moment he stepped forward, the energy in the room shifted. I felt it before I even saw him. The weight of his presence, the heat of his skin as he came close. His hands found my waist, fingers pressing in just enough to send a quiet thrill through me. When I looked up, his eyes were already on mine, dark, intense, filled with something unspoken. Then his lips were on mine. The kiss was deep, filled with everything words couldn't express. A slow pull, a quiet surrender. I melted against him, his warmth surrounding me as his hands traced my back. "Thank you," he murmured, his voice low against my lips. A shiver ran down my spine, not just from his words, but from the way he said them. Like this moment was everything he had ever wanted. And then Sophia moved. A shift on the bed. The weight of her presence felt before I even turned my head. She was watching him, watching us, a slow, knowing smile curving her lips. There was no hesitation in her gaze, no uncertainty, just quiet confidence as she leaned in, fingers trailing over his stomach, lower, until he let out a sharp exhale. I didn't look away as she kissed down his body, her touch exploring, teasing. My lips stayed on his, my hands tangled in his hair, feeling the quiet tremor that ran through him. His breath was heavier now, slower, his body reacting to every delicate movement she made. His fingers tightened on my back as she grew more focused, a deep sound slipping from his throat. I felt his breath catch against my lips. His reaction sent something electric through me. The way his body tensed, the way his fingers dug into my hips as if he needed something to ground himself. It was intoxicating to watch, to feel him react to every slow movement, every shift in his breath. And then I moved with her. I trailed my kisses down his jaw, along his neck, feeling the heat of his pulse beneath my lips. Lower still, until I was beside her, our movements sensing in silent understanding. His head fell back, his breath uneven, lost in the moment between us. Every sound he made sent a fresh wave of heat through me, fueling the moment, pulling me deeper into it. I could feel the tension radiating from him, his hands gripping the sheets. But we weren't done yet. A shift, a change in position. Sophia was on the bed now, beneath me, her breath warm against my skin. I felt her hands guide me, settling me into place. A sharp inhale left my lips as she began. My fingers curled into the sheets as sensation flooded through me, slow, teasing strokes dragging me under, making my head fall back. And then him, the weight of his body against hers, the deep exhale that left his lips as he moved with intent. A quiet gasp escaped her, her breath hitching against my skin. I felt every shift beneath me. His presence was steady, unyielding. The intensity of it was undeniable. His hands steadied her, every shift drawing a reaction beneath me. Her breath, her hands, the brush of her lips against me. It was all too much. An intoxicating mix of sensation that sent my pulse racing. But it was him that undid me. The way he looked at me, his gaze locked onto mine, dark and heavy with intensity. Every movement he made sent a shiver through both of us. But it was the way he never looked away, the way he reached for me, his fingers brushing against my skin, his lips capturing mine. That was what unraveled me completely. My body tensed, my breath caught, and the sensation overtook me in waves. I wasn't alone. He groaned deeply, his grip tightening, his body trembling as the moment consumed him. His voice lingered, low and rough, saying my name, Elena, then silence. His forehead pressed against mine, his breath still uneven, a slow, satisfied exhale, slipping from his lips. A small, breathless laugh left me, my fingers still tangled in the sheets. I turned my head slightly, my lips brushing against his ear. Happy? His arms wrapped around me, pulling me close, pressing a lingering kiss to my shoulder. More than you know. Some thoughts stay locked away forever, but what if the best ones are meant to come true? Have you ever had a secret wish you never shared with anyone? And if you did, what happened when you finally revealed it? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one and I want to know. And before you go, don't forget to like this video and hit subscribe. It's free, takes a second, and make sure you never miss the next story. Turn on the notification bell so you're the first to know when a new one drops. If you enjoyed this, share it with someone who'd love it too. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.